Yay! Oh my gosh, I'm like, yeah, a speck in. Oh, let's see. I may not be able to adjust it, but it is 4:31 a.m. and I woke up for whatever reason, laying there being awake. I thought I would come outside, and it is on my deck, and of course the sun is not up yet. So, mm, just looking for. When I first came out here about 30 minutes ago, the wait, a full moon, or I think the full moon was a couple days ago, but oh my gosh, it's hard not to wake yet. I wake up, but it was super amazing because I have a great big huge tree behind me, and then I can actually see in between two of the branches, or actually three of them, because it kind of looks like almost like a window. The branches, and the moon was right there. It was super cool. Right, so really quick, I want to talk about starting your day with the right mindset. And during the global pandemic, I came up with this 12 purple hearts. First of all, it started with 3 purple hearts because I just was being super deliberate about my mindset. And so I wanted to make sure that I was concentrating on love. Again, just looking to see if this little white speck is the moon. It's not. But I wanted to make sure that my mindset was good, even though I have been a Christian since, well, I would say I totally surrendered my life to Christ the week of September 11th. When I'm not a big television person. I'm certainly not a news junkie, and I don't handle tragic news well. Never have. I'm really good in the like emergency kind of like crisis mode. But I just don't do well with the propaganda that goes on in the news. And so I recognized very young that the news, a lot of it is just different angles, same story. Or many of us are very keenly aware that the narrative of the news and what's being viewers is sent out into the viewers, it's biased, and so it doesn't reflect the whole situation. Anyway, long and short of it is I the pandemic was hard for me because I do not do well in isolation, nor do I shelter well. I know that I'm not alone in that, but a friend of mine had invited me or encouraged me to go on and register for an app called Clubhouse, and there was a lot of us on this app. And it wasn't until, I don't know, I mean, really, it was quite some time into the pandemic that the founder of the community that I spent probably the most time in, was Our Mindset. And so what drew me to that title was easier. Setting my intentions. For years, I have been journaling, set my intentions early in the morning, spend time with God. um, making lists, all of these things. And yeah, I think I was probably one of the first people in our mindset that was talking about it's not about getting wealthy or rich. It's about appreciating the day, the moment, and the relationships that we have. And it's a real difficult thing if people that mean a lot to you aren't healthy or don't want to have a relationship with you. So my husband died in 2018 with suicide, and our relationship was pretty much shredded in the negative way, not in a positive way. And so um, a lot of dishonesty, and I was hurt because I was honest about some um I was brave and honest about some stuff and how I was feeling, and yet he was not. And then the deception and betrayal and whatever. I was pretty angry and was not. He was eager and pressuring me to forgive him immediately, like let the offense be in the past. And yeah, emotionally, I wasn't doing well. So I was being advised by an attorney, a social worker, and psychologist. And the psychologist was a very intelligent, smart man. Locally, had dealt with hundreds and hundreds and hundreds, probably thousands of people in the courts and or in his practice. And he assured me that it would. Oh, I think the moon. Yay, the moon's in the background. Anyway, long and short of it, this psychologist really urged me to um was concerned about my safety. And so he urged me to go to the courts and get a protection order to keep my husband a distance from me, which I didn't want to do because my husband was a teacher. His emotional the weight that I felt from him, it warranted the situation, but yeah, this is really tough because I waffled and really, really, really was scared. I went down to the courts. Oh, he had attempted suicide, and I was super angry because um number one, he did that, but number two, our daughter would have found him. Number three, I was like and angry that he wasn't taking responsibility. Um, so again, I was in actually weekly counseling. So I was seeing a counselor once a week, which is not that's kind of a lot. But sorry, this is hard to talk about. So anyway, long and short of it, when I put it was a civil protection order. I thought I couldn't even call it a restraining order. I think they're one and the same, but um, I told the court clerk or whoever spoke with me that I was really concerned because he's a teacher, and yet I had two kids that were going out of the country for spring break, or I'm sorry, out of the state for spring break, and explain the situation. The social worker that had advised me to make sure he didn't come home was from the hospital, and um, she had called me because my husband put it when he attempted suicide, he was admitted into the psychiatric unit. And so yeah, very difficult decision, probably one of the most difficult decisions. And yet I had a similar in September 11th, the week of September 11th, I had done the same thing, had put a civil protection order against him because he hurt our son, and it was just, and I was hurting, and I don't know how to get away from moms hurt when their kids, especially new moms, like we hurt when our kids hurt. So that detachment, I'm not sure if that is even healthy to be completely detached from the pain of our children, but I can guarantee you it is not at all natural. But at least it wasn't natural for me to be, completely, unaffected or detached by the pain of my kids' experience. So, yeah, difficult stuff, but I'm gonna try to hang in here, and appreciate this early morning moon. Um, so anyway, I don't think my kids will ever understand uh the emotion that I was faced with. I actually hope they never do. I don't want or wish uh, on my worst enemy anybody to feel as burdened and weighed down as I felt at times in my marriage because of my husband's problems and my own baggage, I guess. But it was really a hard walk. And so going back to mindset, during the pandemic, I first of all was scared to death. I literally I can't even tell you. It felt like a total spiritual attack, but I could not imagine, like they were talking about lockdown they were talking about, indefinite lockdown. My son was with his best buddy and his mom's a nurse, and I already was, struggling with, and I, I was really being conscientious about not crowding him, giving him space. I mean, he was a teenager and growing in high school and stuff, but, yeah, I mean, the loneliness, the pain, the isolation, it just wasn't, it didn't feel good. I didn't have people that were close enough to me. Um, let's put it this way. I had people that were close to me, but they were newer relationships. And so I had friends that were checking on me, and yet, I mean, my one friend came over to check on me. I literally got in her car and was like, okay, I just felt safer in her car than I did in my house. And I was like, I wanted to go with her. I just wanted to, it was so hard to be in my house. It had been about 2 years. So super early in the grief process, particularly with suicide grief. And, she, she very compassionate, sweet Christian person, lady, and but she was like, you can't, you can't come with me, I mean, I think she thought in a very, I think she was amazing, and yet I think she couldn't believe, and I don't think, well, I couldn't believe, nobody understood how scared I was. And it was scared of being isolated indefinitely in my own house, and I already felt tremendously isolated, abandoned. And all my Christian friends and family were like, God is with you. But at some point, I mean, I was getting angry that people kept saying that to me, because all these people that were saying this to me, had family and people around them who were, either believers or family or friends that they, hope to become believers, but none of them were isolated. And my older two children, so my relationship with my kids, just feels and still feels like it's just being held together by a thread. So, my husband was very gregarious. He was very funny. He, certainly played the hero in the family for the kids. And it was hard for me because a lot of times I just be like, I mean, even in counseling, I can remember our counselor saying something like, don't roll your eyes. And I thought, I don't even have words. How frustrated I am. The counselor said something like, about maturity. And like inside my head, I'm literally screaming, like, you're judging me about being immature. My husband is acting like he is, completely present, and he, is fully engaged in what we're talking about in counseling. And as soon as we would get home, the games would start, and it just felt like all of it was just a lie and a front. And so it was hard. And so 3 purple hearts is what I came up with. 3 purple hearts. And then it grew into 12 purple hearts. So it's taken me way too long to tell you this story, and I apologize for rambling, but mental health and suicide especially are topics that are not easy to speak well to, and they need time and space. And so with my kids, all of them, I continue to pray, continue to give them time and space, recognizing it may take forever. They may never see or forgive me or understand where, because I just by no means ever want or wish to disparagingly talk about my late husband. But the fact is he was really good about, acting that things were great. And many times he had people fooled. When my youngest son was hospitalized, I remember my sister-in-law saying, like, his faith is so admirable. And I was like, she had no idea, but we wouldn't have even probably been in the hospital if he would have just listened to me. And I mean, yeah, that's another whole long story. But I was just really still processing some anger and resentment from our son becoming so sick. Um, but So the first 3 hearts, if you just imagine, close your eyes and imagine. So the first 3 hearts are Father, Son, Holy Spirit. And so when I was a younger Christian, meaning just really get into the Bible and studying it, I love this. Somebody was talking about like 3-dimensional sort of things, and they used an egg. So like you got the eggshell, you got the whites, and then you got the yolk. And so how do you have 3 in 1? Well, there's 3 in 1, right? Like you've got one egg, but you got 3 components to it. Or I like this one. How about an Oreo cookie? I love Oreos, by the way. I should see if Oreo would or Nabisco would sponsor this. Suicide prevention, right? Yeah, so you got your whole cookie, and you've got 2 chocolate cookies on the outside, and then that white yummy frosting on the inside, and so Father, Son, Holy Ghost, the Trinity is. So the second 3 hearts came out of me praying and just thinking about the kids. I was obsessed and just praying that they would eventually understand, that they would eventually that they would all be strong enough and grounded enough not to repeat some of the mindset and the behaviors that my husband struggled with, but also that his family seemed to embrace, and that was hard. But it still is true, and it's real. And so I need to slow down if I'm saying but, so it's a nervous thing. But and for my three kids, Kale, Sage, and Logan. So a little bit of time, space, Purple Hearts. I have both of my grandfathers were military guys, and in the military in America, a Purple Heart. There's just it signifies bravery and victory and even pain and healing. But I don't think the military people are that vulnerable about saying pain, but oftentimes wounded soldiers get Purple Hearts. So then for me, I would go, okay, it's in the morning. I'm going to set 3 intentions that are positive. So, oh, we got mosquitoes out here. So, either make a list. Yeah. Exercise, make a list. And do something for self-care. Just make a list. So 3 things that or I'm not going to think about this or that, but setting 3 intentions. You could even just write out 12 hearts, and then in the middle just write, like, that's what I would do. I would put Father, Son, Holy Spirit, Kale, Sage, Logan, and then my 3 intentions in the morning. And then although I don't execute this very well, I'm not gonna lie. I just can't lie about this. But the other thing is at the end of the day. So be grateful for 3 different things. And I have always gratitude and optimism have they come easy to me. But after, in the wake of my husband's suicide, they somehow that got lost, and it just was difficult. It was difficult, and even sitting out in the sun and knowing there, maybe flowers in my view, the sky might be absolutely blue and gorgeous, the sunshine, the warmth, the fact that I have a home, a car, food to eat, friends. Majority of my family is very healthy. I have a lot of nieces and nephews who I love, and but granted, that was hard, and I'm, there are times, there still are days. It has been 6 years since he's died, and because of what my heart feels is like really like bruised relationships or strained relationships or broken relationships, that gratitude, especially at the end of the day, it's important. But here's the facts, right? You can set your intentions to be grateful for 3 different things in the morning, and then at the end of the day, review the Purple Hearts. And so yeah, so that's that. Thanks for tuning in. Really, we can set our intentions, and we can start our days over at any time. And I just want all of you to be mindful of other people, but I want you to know that if you're feeling sad and or maybe suicidal, or maybe feeling like you're not being seen or loved and no one understands, just please don't isolate. Just talk about it. Just find a counselor, find a friend, that's what pastors, that's a major part of their, most of them, of their work. So yeah, so God bless you. God bless you good, and thanks for tuning in. And I'm gonna see if I can just lay here and enjoy the moon before the sun comes up. But yeah, thank you so much. God bless and have a good day, and enjoy the moon. Oh my gosh, 2024 has been so celestial, right? I mean, we've had the corona eclipse, and we've had in Ohio, we've had the northern lights, and the moon is just obviously we see the moon as long as it's clear out, but there's just been a lot of fun stuff, meteor showers and such. So good stuff and fun. So that kind of science is pretty exciting and majestic, right? So go God. See ya. Bye.